The following is intended for mature audiences only. Discretion is advised.
Welcome to another episode of We're Done Here. Thank you for joining us this week. Please make sure to like and subscribe on wherever you listen to this podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. I don't know where you listening, but do it there. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much. But today we're here with our guest, Gus Constantellis.
Hello, hello.
Oh, and also the studio looks different. They're doing things different. We have chairs now. It's different.
It's cute.
Yeah, it used to be.
It's cozy.
We used to have like a desk, and now we have velvet chairs. Yeah,
But there's this cute little thing.
that is very cute. Yeah.
Hello, hello.
Yeah. So
is this fake or real?
that's definitely fake. Yeah. That's
fake. Whatever.
That's definitely fake.
You know what? It looks real, and that's all that matters.
That's true.
Truly
It does
it.
look, it's very real. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Gus is a New York City comedian, also a native New Yorker, which you know is rare if you listen to this podcast, from Brooklyn,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Super duper funny, hilarious. Has like, I don't know, you have like, I don't know, 1 million followers. I don't know.
No, not even close, but yeah.
Anyway, he's famous to me. Anyway, yes. Tell all the guests about yourself, Gus.
Well, I don't know. I'm known as like the Greek guy, I guess.
Yes!
It's probably the thing I'm probably known for. Or like I do a lot of New Yorker stuff, but mostly the Greek thing. And I have, a lot of Greek followers who are very great. I love them. And yeah, I do a lot of TikTok content.
Well, I guess I'm from Astoria, as you know, it's a Greek neighborhood.
Yeah.
So one time I was doing a show, and then like it was deep in Brooklyn during the pandemic, and
Yes.
like a bunch of Greek people came, and they never come to any of my shows.
They would never come to Bushwick. Yeah.
They would never.
Greek people would
come see
never
me.
come to Bushwick. In fact, like there was this big Greek concert recently at the Barclays Center in downtown Brooklyn.
Really?
And afterwards, I was like, because I live right next to downtown Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I live right next to the Barclays Center.
Yeah.
So I started hitting up people like, hey, like, let me know what you're doing afterwards for the after party, because I thought they would stay local.
Yeah.
Every Greek person went to Astoria that
Yeah,
night.
of course.
I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
No one's leaving. Wow, first of all, Astoria has all the restaurants, all the Greek places.
I know. Greek people, man. They're crazy. They love Astoria.
I mean, they really do. And I grew up there. I don't know why I was a black girl in Astoria, but whatever. That is my life. But no, I love that. So you've been doing comedy for a while, though.
Yeah, probably like 8 or 9 years at this point.
Awesome. It's super duper funny, super talented.
Thank you.
Yeah, just doing tons of stuff. And then how did you get into comedy? Because I have no idea how you even got into it.
Oh, I actually I did a talent show when I was at NYU.
Really?
And I had never done stand-up.
You went to NYU?
Yeah, I went to NYU.
Oh, that's so weird for a New York City Greek kid.
I know. I had a full ride, actually.
Oh my
so
God,
I have
you're
no
smart.
debt. I know. That's my one thing with Biden, where people like keep complaining about the debt thing. I'm like, yes, I agree, but I really don't know that struggle.
You're super smart to get a full ride from
I
New
was a
York.
good kid.
I mean,
I was a good kid. I was a smart little kid. Yeah.
Oh.
I was that bitch in high school. Yeah. I was in all the extracurriculars. I did not want to go home. Like I was in school like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Like
I love that.
I was pulling 12 hours in high school.
Everybody must be so proud of you.
No, not really.
Okay,
no, I'm kidding.
everyone was like, who
No,
cares?
because my brothers didn't really do the college thing like
Yeah.
that. So my dad didn't even know. And then one year, like years later, he calls me and he's like, Gus, is college NYU really that expensive? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I heard someone next to me at dinner the other day talking $200,000 in debt.
Yeah.
NYU, but what about you? And I was like, no. And he was like, oh, really? And I was like, you are literally shocked 6 years later? Like, whatever, man.
That's
so
classic immigrant parents. It's
classic.
Like not paying attention.
Yeah, I just did my thing. I got all my little scholarships in order in line because I knew what I was doing at that point. I was doing their healthcare form, so I knew how to do a scholarship application.
Got it.
So it was pretty easy. So, so I went to NYU, and then I did a talent show when I was at NYU, and I did stand up, and I won the semifinals, so I got to go to the finals.
Oh my God.
And I had never done stand up, so I was like, let me just tell this stupid story about the subway and like another story, and it went well. And I did the finals, and then I lost.
Okay.
But
Do you know who you remember?
some singer. It's always a singer.
Oh yeah, people love
It was
singing.
a talent show.
Yeah. No one cares about comedy when you
She
can
sang
sing.
some Adele song, and it was it. You know what I mean? What are you gonna
Adele,
do?
That's like too much. Okay, yeah.
You can't sing Adele. Okay,
No.
and then what?
And she was good, too.
They're gonna laugh at my little jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, do your little bits. She has the voice of an angel.
No. Then
So-
she's doing hello. No,
Hello.
You had no.
No.
You had no.
So
no,
I
no
lost,
chance.
but then after I moved to LA, and I decided like a year
You
later.
lived in LA?
Yeah, I lived in
I don't know
LA.
anything about this. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
This interview's for me.
So a year after, well, not a year after college, right after college, I moved to LA. A year after that, I really started doing stand-up in LA.
Oh.
Like really doing it. And then I just like did not like LA, so I moved back.
Horrible place.
Not for me.
No.
Not for me, baby. I don't like cars. I don't like driving.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like car culture. I know America is all car culture all the time. Like, I'm going to leave it in my car, but not for me. I want trains. I want high-speed trains everywhere.
Me too, same.
Like, the fact that they're like they're charging people $12 to drive into the city. I'm like, yeah, drive them out. I mean,
I heard they're doing that.
Did you know that? I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy.
That's crazy.
I think it's crazy, but also I'm like, kick them out. Yeah, we don't need cars, but whatever.
No, yeah, but the
I'm like
Ubers
half an hour. They shouldn't be charging people.
No, $12.
That's $12. They started it at $12. It's only going to go up from
This
here.
is a racket. It's a whole racket.
It's a racket.
It's
crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but
that's how I started doing stand-up. And then I moved back to New York with like a real intention to like hit stand-up really hard.
oh my God, I had no idea about that. I love that. I love your not little oranges story, but like your origin tale, because I had no idea you went to NYU or you were in LA. None of this. Okay, great. Well, this is We're Done Here Pod. So it's an emotional wellness comedy podcast, as you guys know. So every week we dive into a different topic. And this week we're going to talk about a topic that we've talked about before, but from a different landscape. Gus, are you okay with me sharing your mom recently passed away?
My mom did pass away recently, about 4 or 5 months ago at this point. Just fresh.
No, it's super fresh. So please, if you need a Kleenex, anything you don't want to talk about. The special thing about Gus is he really shared his mom with us. A lot of his content was about his mom, and then your mom was so funny because she was like every relatable mother.
Yeah,
it's just super entertaining. It's like we all felt that we knew her, like I don't know, kind of thing, because you shared so much, and the content was just hilarious, super funny. So thank you for that. Like, what inspired you to even start sharing about your mom in that way? And
well, I don't know. I mean, she was always funny. She was just like part of my bits. But even like the first jokes that I wrote were like about my family and about her. Like I remember like even that set at NYU, like there was a joke about my mom in there. So it was like, it's like one of those things where you're like, she was always part of it. And then it just grew from there. I started impersonating her at first. And then I started posting like actual videos of her, and people just were like, went apeshit for her.
It's so good.
She was just so funny. And like at first it was like, I was definitely like, she was like shocked that someone was filming her, and you could tell she was like, there's a camera on me. And then eventually it became like, oh, I would film her and she would have like, I couldn't get her to like, you have to understand, like it was always candid. Like I couldn't get her to be like, say this or answer this. Yeah. Like after a while she was like, I know what I'm going to say, and I know what I want to, what video I want to make today. So it was funny because I got to like, you know what I mean? She just like formed her own like version of it.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. And it comes across like you couldn't plan what you were doing. No. Like it was obvious.
And there were times where I would tell her like, please repeat that because it was funny and I just wasn't recording, and she just couldn't get it the same way. And you're like, come on.
This is gold. This is gold. So super fresh. Your mom just passed away. But what I really want to focus on is how you're dealing with it. In terms of this cookbook that you're making. Can you tell?
Yeah, well, it's really cute because like I have a video of her like 3 months before she passed. I have a video of me like telling her like I really want to do a cookbook with her, and she like smiles and she gets really like excited about it, and she's like, oh really, you didn't tell me that? And I was like, yeah, I think it'd be great and we could do it. And she's like, oh well, you'll like really like have to like measure things because I don't know anything.
Oh yeah, they never do.
So she's like, oh, you really have to measure it all out. And I was like, yeah, we'll do it and it'll be really fun. And she was like, all right. So like I'm really happy that I have that video of her because like I posted a video of me cooking her meatballs like a few days after she died. Yeah. I like was in Trader Joe's and I just like I couldn't find the frozen meatballs that I liked, so I was like, all right, fine, I'll just make her meatballs. So, like I grabbed everything, ran home, made it, and I like filmed me making them and like just talked about her a little bit, and I like put it on my Instagram, and people were like, just make the cookbook. And so I was like, I should just make the cookbook. Yeah. And I have enough things to like go off of, and then my brother has more of the recipes.
Oh, does he actually have things written down?
He just has them in his own head, and he can recreate them.
Everyone has everything in their head.
And then her sister's still alive, so her sister knows a lot of the same recipes, but they always joke that like she can never cook as good as her.
Oh, yeah,
and even she said it. Like I called my aunt and I was like, Thea, like can you teach me? And she's like, I don't know how to cook as good as your mom. She always used to make fun of me. She said, she always used to say like,
trauma.
Even her daughter, my cousin was like, yeah, but your mom used to roast her. Like, what are you, stupid? You can't make a simple cheese pie. You can't make a simple pasticcio. So there's all that drama, but it's all close enough.
Oh, I love that.
I'll be able to I'm recreating a lot of it just through like, pulling things back here or there, but it's really coming together. All the recipes, like I'm missing only like 5 of them. So like I'm really getting close.
So you're cooking a dinner. I'm
getting really close.
I know.
Yes. Hello. I should have brought something here, but I'm getting close on that front. And then it's just building out all the stories I want to tell and that content.
Oh, I love that. And you have like an Instagram channel. I don't know what these
I do.
broadcast channel, so you could follow the journey of the recipes and things like that. And that's so interesting. So when you are cooking these recipes, well, first, are you making them like your mother, or is it kind of off, or is it like, do you feel like she's with you, cooking with you, or
everything I've made so far, like low key, I've like killed it. Like not gonna lie,
like I was low key,
and like not gonna lie, I'm not a cook. I don't know. I'm not good.
Okay,
and I'm not like I at least I didn't know, like, because the things I cook for myself, it's like, all right, microwave, put this in a pan, fry it up, call it a day. Exactly. You know what I mean? Add some garlic if I'm feeling fresh. You know, but like nothing crazy. Yeah. So I was shocked, and I've never baked before. So the baking part of it, I was like, oh, this is gonna. I didn't have a mixer. I had nothing. Yeah. I had to like go get like a baking tray. So I was like, let's do this. And I made a cake, and it was like it turned out like exactly like my mother's.
Oh wow!
So I was like, this is a little weird. Okay, maybe it's coming to me. Yes, yeah. Well, it's so funny because my aunt called. We were talking. She was giving me the recipes, and she was like, "Have you seen your mom's ghost yet?" And I was like, no. And she was like, oh, I've seen her twice.
What?
And I was like, are you bragging right now? Are you really FaceTiming? I was sitting here trying to make a nice cookbook for my mom, and you're like, well, you haven't seen her yet. Does she even love you?
Not the ghost.
Did she even? I'm getting ghosted by my mom's ghost out here.
So ridiculous. I love that.
Crazy.
That's such an immigrant thing to say, like, oh, the ghost came to me.
I know.
Like, what are you talking about?
The funny part is I call my dad. My dad's like, oh, I saw her already. My brother saw her already. So I'm the only one. I'm the only one.
That's true. Maybe
she wants nothing to do with me.
Maybe she's in the recipes.
I know. No.
But like, I guess in terms of, that's amazing. So you're cooking the recipes really well. And then is it a healing process, or is it just something that you're doing right now? Is it like, tell our guests more, because like at some point we might all have to deal with the fact that our parents are no longer here, a guardian passes away, and it just like, even right after it happened, you were just so like, you were here for the audiences, which is crazy because you're grieving, but it's almost like you were soothing the audiences as well.
Yeah, well, it's so weird because it was like, it is really strange to like, I so wish I had waited like a month to even say anything. But then, I mean, honestly, like, it would have gotten around, so I would have had to address it. So I'm glad that I had control over addressing it. But like, it did really feel like I had to like kind of be like, it's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay, other people. It's my mother.
Because you have to understand that when she died, it was in Greece, and we were in Greece.
Yeah, that's right.
For like 5 more days. So I was walking around Athens, getting recognized, and people coming up to me, and then they were like, I had a family come up to me. And like it was like 3 girls, like young, like, in their teens or whatever. Yeah. And one of them started crying, and I was like, what's going on? And then I had to be like, it's okay. But I was like, it's
crazy.
Like, what? I am like, yeah. And I was on the phone, so like they came up to me, like it was like a whole thing. But it is like, it did feel like I felt like a weird obligation to it.
That is like so weird and interesting. It's like your grief, but the other people are grieving with you, but it's your thing.
But they were, a lot of people were grieving, and
even I was sad. I was like, oh my God, like, it was so dramatic.
It was very sudden too.
It was very, I mean, it's so weird. Everyone's, but yeah.
I know. She was young. She was 65. So it was sudden, but people really were sending me messages like with like long stories about her, where I was like, you never met her though. But they would like reference things that I was like, yes, that is a memory that I guess we all share now. Yes. But yeah, we're laughing, but it was very beautiful. It is very beautiful. It is very beautiful because I can go back to like all those comments, like on all those posts. Like I really can go back to all those messages now and be like, oh wow, like look at this.
Yeah,
that makes me feel so much better.
Yeah,
you know, like
impactful,
just to have that. And like I do, like even today, like I just got caught in a wormhole and I was like going through and like there was comments on old videos of her that were new. Of people being like, oh, I miss this. This is one of my favorites. Or like, I really miss her. And that makes me feel really good that she's still like on people's minds in a way, you know?
No, most definitely made like a huge impact. And like, she's definitely one of those people that you just don't forget.
Yeah,
and
she's
the
sassy.
way exactly. And the way you like kind of immortalized her online, I don't even know if that's the right word. I don't know.
I built a shrine to her. It was a shrine.
It's kind of like, it's very special in that regard. So how you guys are always like, it seems like you guys are, you're always laughing. Like you record your dad. You guys are really in high spirits usually all the time.
Yeah.
Is like the humor a way to deal with the grief, or is it a part of it?
I think she always talks about death a lot.
Okay.
So I think she like prepped us a little bit because like even before she died, there's a video I have of her where she's like, what are you guys going to do when I die? What are you going to do when I die? And I'm like, starve. And she's like, exactly. And you're like, she always talked about it. Like every time you talk to her, she was always talking about dying. So there's a certain sense of like death around us all the time. I think like my family had a lot of death around it. Like her brothers died when they were really young. So she always she lost two of her brothers young. She lost her other brother. And she lost her mom. She lost both her parents when she was young. She lost so many people. And then we lost our grandma when we were young.
Oh, yeah.
And then we never even knew my dad's dad. So our grandpa, we never really know him that much, or like all that part of the family. So we were always like surrounded by death weirdly. So I think in our family, it feels like something, I don't know, like we didn't ever shy away from it.
No, that's so interesting. Because usually people like definitely in the black my mom's Black American, and like you can't even mention death. It's like the blood of Jesus, baby. I'm saying it's like
I'm not
can
saying
we
it's
talk
all
about
Greeks,
a will or something?
Yeah,
like you can't talk. It's like the blood of Jesus, and so you're not saved, lady.
Yeah.
It's like
but the thing is it's not like. But Greeks don't also like they don't prepare for the death. They talk about it. But if you try to find like a password or a safe or any of that information, nothing. Nothing.
Like, come on.
Nothing. My dad's been looking for like several of my mom's pieces of gold for like months now, and he's like, I can't find anything. It's like so funny. Like there was no preparation. And all she did though every time was be like, well, I'm gonna die soon, and I'm like, okay, but like,
what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And no. So that's so interesting.
Yeah.
So the cookbook, are there important dates around there? Are you still working? Like how?
I'm just gonna try to get it done as soon as possible. Honestly, I think it's like I don't know. And I think also there's a part of it that's like, writing it from the perspective of someone that's like actively grieving is kind of interesting because I'll be able to look back on that and be like, I don't know if I feel any of that anymore, or like I don't know if any of that. I don't know if I would have said things like that. Because there's something interesting about like you're grieving, like you're going through something. Like even 2 months ago, I'm like, I was an idiot. I said dumb things or I did stupid stuff and I was making really weird decisions. And I don't know. It's like I'm writing it from like the perspective of like I'm actually going through this and like these are all stories that have like been compiled through the years and like as they come to me. It's like it's going to be like a story throughout. Like
I love that.
It'll be like evergreen kind of like stories that will go with each recipe, but it's going to be a through line of like basically this woman's biography.
Oh, I love that.
You know, it's going to tell her story. It's going to tell stories of like what she was like as a mom. I want it to tap into like everybody in the family. You know what I mean? Like
I love that.
It's going to have like, like my dad's favorite recipe is going to be in there. My brother's favorite recipes are going to be in there. And like something for everybody from the family that will be able to like be mixed in with just her personal story as well.
Oh, I love that. And is that a healing experience for you? Or is it helping the family? Or
I think it is going to help the family. Like I think it's going to be great to like be able to have this as a document that we can just give to anybody in our family.
Oh, I love that.
It's like once my aunt dies, it's done. Like the women of this part, you know what I mean? This food thing is going to die.
Yeah.
So we have to collect these things somehow.
That's true.
And so we'll have it And like now my brothers are gonna have it, and then my niece and nephew are gonna have it, and like they were raised by my mom. Yeah. You know, like my mom raised them until they were like 6 and 3. So like they spent 6 days a week with my mom. So like even my niece is like the spitting image of her, like
Aww.
her mannerisms, the way she talks. Like if like I don't want to give like a 3-year-old a cigarette, but if I gave her a cigarette, she would be like exactly like my mother.
Oh,
it's insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so like I think like when they get older and like, you know, they're not going to remember their grandma at all. So it's going to be great for them to be like, I have this at least.
Yeah.
You know, I can make her food. I can make like the thing that I loved as a baby.
No, I love that. And it's such a like, it's such a interesting way to put your energy into like, you know, something like your parent passing away. So other people like go on, you know, drinking, drug bins, stuff like that.
I've been doing that
I'm
too.
thinking about one person in particular.
Yeah. No, I've been doing that too. It's just like on the side, like 2 hours a day I do the cookbook, and then the rest I'm like,
but at least you're doing something.
I'm so kidding. But you know, it's also a love letter to like the people that did follow her. Like it's like
true.
those people. Like I, you know, again going back to like I owed them some. Like not that I owed them something when she died, and I had to like, you know, feed the beast, but it was like I do owe them like a bit of that closure too. And so
I mean,
like,
they are definitely, people are grieving. So
it's like a thank you letter to them to be like, you did this, you know what I mean? Like you were a part of this too. So like, here's a document of like her whole life that you can now have too.
No, I love that. I can't wait to get the book as well.
Yeah.
So that's one way. Are you going to a grief counsel? What are other things that you're doing? Or maybe you're still going through it. Like
no, I have a therapist and I smoke a lot of weed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I smoke a lot of weed too.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
my therapist is great. I love my therapist.
Okay, that's good. That's good that you have a therapist. And then, like, do you have an advice for anyone who might experience something similar in the future, or not really? Or
well, I don't know. It's so my therapist gave me great advice, and it really helped me those first 2 months. Which is like, and you know, obviously take this with a grain of salt. But he was like, follow any instinct or impulse that you have right now, even if you don't think it's right, or even if you don't think it's like whatever, it's like just really follow those impulses, because like they'll make you feel better. So it's like if you want to like go buy something, go buy something. If you want to like go have like a weird sex experience, go do that. Like just go do things that really like fill that like need to like, I don't know, guess like fill those impulses, because it's like you're gonna feel better after it. And I did do that, and I think he did that. He gave me this advice knowing that like I'm not crazy, like fully knowing that I'm not gonna go off the rails.
Yeah, you're not
like my friends were joking. They were like, you should show up with like a track and be like, I followed your advice. Yeah, and like coke off my nose, like I did it. But he was like, you know, obviously you're not gonna do anything crazy, but he was like, go follow those impulses, and I think you'll feel better. And that really was such great advice, because I did do that, and like I did follow those impulses, and they led me to like strange paths that brought me a lot of joy.
Oh, I love that. But it was great advice for you, but maybe not for other people.
Not for other people, but it worked, and like make it work for you.
No, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing your story here today, Gus, and telling. I can't wait for the cookbook. Like, is there a place where people can go and find it, or is it like?
No, I mean, I'm trying to sell it.
Just
so
follow Gus,
I'm
and then
just working on it. Yeah, join the cookbook channel, because there's already 9.3K. So it's like 9,000 people
on that
it's insane. So I'm so excited.
I'm a part of the cookbook channel as well. Yeah, you have to sell it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I love that. So this is We're Done Here Pod. So every episode we talk about something. We're obviously done. We're not really done with this, but you're on your continued journey. But we talk about something we're not done with, pop culture or otherwise. Is there anything that you're feeling right now
that I'm not done with?
That you're not done with, like you think it's too awesome to be done with?
I don't know. I've been rewatching Seinfeld.
Oh my God. How's that going?
It's been great. You know what? I'm going to the Philippines and Thailand next month, and I put it on the background while I was like booking the trip.
Yeah.
And then I made it through like all seasons 3 and 4, and then I was like, let me just rewatch it. So I'm like,
how many seasons are there?
9.
Oh wow.
So I have 6 episodes left. I'm really almost done, baby.
Oh my God, you've done it.
But I'm not done with it. Like I think I'm gonna go back, because I started at season 3. I think I'm gonna go back and do seasons 1 and 2, even though I don't really like them.
I mean, I can't remember them, but I remember just laughing at Seinfeld. It was on reruns.
Seinfeld is great.
No, it's a great show.
It is so unhinged. Yeah.
Way better than Friends. Ugh. Oh, yeah. So you're not done with Seinfeld? Okay, great. I'm trying to think what what I'm not done with. So I was on Netflix, unfortunately. I hate Netflix. I'm kind of done with them because they try to charge me extra for somebody looking at my account, and then I had to yell at them. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, they kicked me off the TV like 3 times,
What
and
the
I was
hell is
so
up
mad.
with
I had to make my own account because I was so mad.
They're doing some crazy shit. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm done with that. But what I'm not done with is the fact that Netflix has been getting a lot of HBO content. So they're getting like they're getting all the HBO. So like the whole Insecure is on there. The whole
I loved
6 Feet
Insecure.
Under is on there. You could just watch all these like old HBO shows, which HBO doesn't exist anymore. I hate Max. But anyway, I watched like HBO. I watched Insecure on Netflix, and like I just had never watched it from start to finish.
Oh, it's
before.
so good.
It's such a good. No, I love it. I mean, Issa Rae, yeah, amazing.
It's such a consistently great show.
It's consistent. I just never watch. You know, you watch a season
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you
yeah.
like. But took a while. I was actually getting these braids done, and which took forever. And I was watching it consecutively, and I was like, "Damn, this show is good." So yeah, shout out to Netflix, even though they're trash for having all those HBO shows on there. I'm sure there's more. Yeah, there's something like Shameless. I think I don't know. Maybe that's Showtime. Anyway, they're getting the shows, but Gus, where can I find you?
At Constantly Gus on all the social media platforms, including my Venmo, baby. So,
Yes, make sure y'all never Venmo us. But thank you guys so much for listening. Gus, thank you so much for being on the pod.
Thanks for having me. This was so fun.
Yay.